Khilafat took almost the shape of a kingship. And then the rulers, they were seeking fatwas from ulama to their will. These God-fearing scholars, they were not ready to give any fatwa to their will. And then so-called ulama were installed. So they started giving fatwa. And as they were supported by the authorities, while the others were imprisoned or beaten. So that's why certain God-fearing scholars, they got dispersed to various parts of the world. But as they were bound to do ijtihad, and in mujtahadat, the situation is also considered where they are living. So that's why differences happened. But on the other hand, a good thing is that in various parts of Islamic Khilafah, the teaching of Deen was started. Whenever the students of Deen, they heard about a alim in a specific area, they used to rush to him, to learn from him. Like in Kufa, there was Sufyan Sawri and Imam Abu Hanifa. In Medina Munawwara, there was Malik ibn Anas. In Lebanon, there was Imam Awza'i. In Misr, there was Lays ibn Sa'd. So they had hundreds of students around them. Then these rulers, even though never declared nor officially announced, but they were trying to avoid ahadith, because ahadith is the interpretation of Quran, and things are becoming clear with the hadith. So to have the ambiguity, they were trying to avoid a hadith. And that's why the muhaddiseen started compiling a hadith. Some people, to get fame or to be interested, they started relating a hadith, say a hadith. But whenever they got the trust of people, so then to grab some money from the rulers according to their will, they were fabricating a hadith. And that's why the Mawzu'i hadith started. So God-fearing muhaddiseen, rahimahumullah, they compiled a hadith on one side and Asma'ul Rijal on the other side, talking about every single hadith, narrated by whom, from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And who is this whom and whom and whom? So, regarding deduction, in that era, two madrasas became famous. One was called Madrasatu Ahl al-Hadith, and its center was Medina Munawwara. And the second one was called Madrasatu Ahl al-Rai, and the center was Kufa. It doesn't mean that Ahlul Hadith was not giving their opinion, or Ahlul Rai were not following a Hadith. But as Kufa was the capital, people were coming to that capital from all around, having their culture with, new things with them. And thus the mujtahideen in Kufa, they were in much more need of more and more reduction. And they used to keep themselves ready for any situation. So that's why these fuqaha in Kufa, they were supposing a question. Suppose if a thing like this happened, what will be the solution? Got it? But if the situation is like this, even though that issue was not existing at that time, but if that happened, so what will be the solution? To be ready for the situation, they were doing ijtihad before existing of issue. Got it? And thus they were giving their opinion. That's why they were called Ahlul Rai. Now, as they were giving opinion for Ahlul Hadith or Madrasatu Ahl al-Hadith, the case was easy. As something happened, and thus they were asked, and he brought forth the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or a qawl or fatwa of Sahabi. But in Kufa, these mujtahideen, they were debating an issue. Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi, at once, he had 400 ulama with him. He was giving them stipend, financial help, bringing forth an issue to them. Think about this issue and bring out the solution. And then whosoever brought it, Imam was taking that solution one by one. He was saying that to this extent, you are right. But here, the mistake is like this. And then he was giving his own opinion. Got it? So these fuqaha, they compiled the mujtahadat of Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anhum in Medina. So it means they were called Madrasatu Ahl al-Hadith, but still they compiled the fiqh of these three great Sahaba. And in Kufa, the fuqaha, they compiled the mujtahadat of Sayyidina Ali and Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Masud. Because Ibn Masud was mufti there and Qazi there in the time of Umar radiyallahu ta'ala an. And later on Ali himself was there. Now how the mazahib appeared? As I mentioned before, that there were so many mujtahideen at the same time. All of them, they were mujtahideen. Like Imam Shafi, Imam Awza'i, Imam Ibn Uyayna. In the book he has written wrong, Imam Nawawi. That is not Nawawi. That is Imam Sawri. Imam Sawri. Waqid al-Jarrah. Waqid al-Jarrah was the famous teacher of Imam Shafi and the student of Imam Abu Hanifa. His grave is, we went there, his grave is close to Imam Shafi, rahmatullahi alayhi. Like here from, yes, like where you are parking on Friday, like this distance. Ibn Abi Layla, who is known by Qazi Ibn Abi Layla, Lays ibn Sa'ad, Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahimahumullah. So now the fame these four Imam got, that was because of a few things. Number one, Quwwat istidlal, the way they were arguing their stand or their opinion, that was very strong. Number two, they got students who were inscribing their mujtahadat. And number three, in different part of the world, their followers became the rulers. So they implemented their fiqh as law of the land. So now that is a blessing by Allah. Otherwise, these four Imams who got fame and the Muslim world is following them in the time of Banu Umayyah and Banu Abbas, they were in jail. They were in jail. So it means that they were under very much big pressure. But not pressure, even punishments. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to give a fame, so the whole world cannot stop you. So the rulers, they wanted to stop these imam, so the people may not have their fiqh or their fatwas. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed the other way around. So what happened? The whole world is following these four imams or somebody else?
These four.
Same what you said.
These four imams.
Yes, that is what? Acceptance by Allah. That is what?
Acceptance.
Acceptance by Allah. So when you are working for Deen, so never be proud of what you are doing. That say, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever I am doing, I am trying to my best to do it for your good pleasure, for the services of your Deen. Please give it acceptance. Give it acceptance. Got it? Because there are three things. Number one, that is called, or more than three, that is called qabiliyat, ability. Number two, that is called shuhrat, fame. Number three, that is called maqbuliyat, acceptance. And number four, that is called mahbubiyat, love. So qabiliyat, somebody has it, which is also a God-given gift. Then the next stage is that he gets fame. When he gets fame, So people are talking about him a lot. They are sitting somewhere, so they are talking about him. Yes, that Mur Yusuf said like this. Got it? But if Mur Yusuf still is working for the sake of Allah, he is not going out of his dress. Yes? So, that, oh, I became a big shot. He is holding himself. So then the next stage is maqbuliyat, acceptance. So when somebody has shuhrat, so his name is there on the tongue of people. If he has maqbuliyat, so then he is in the brain of people. He is what? In the brain of people. And if he is holding himself and going ahead, Allah is taking him ahead. So that is the utmost highest stage, mahbubiyat, that he becomes the beloved of people. So then he is in the heart of people. So for someone who has the shuhrat, nobody is doing that much sacrifices for him. Even if somebody has maqbuliyat, still people are with him. Yes, but when hard time comes, so they withdraw. Got it? But the highest stage, when he gets mahbubiyat, that Allah gives him mahbubiyat by the people. So then, with his indication, the people are very much ready to cut their heads. Got it? They are sacrificing their lives by the indication of that man. So just ask Allah, oh Allah, give us mahbubiyat. Oh Allah, give us mahbubiyat. So we will talk about these few imams a little bit. Imam Abu Hanifa, who is called Al-Imam Al-Azam or Imam Al-Aimma. What he is called?
Imam Al-Azam or...
Why you are not picking up? Al-Imam Al-Azam ya Imam Al-Aimma? He was born there in Kufa in 703. In what?
703.
In 703 after Jesus. First he studied Ilmul Kalam, because Ilmul Kalam at that time was the qualification of well-off families, like as well-off people, especially back home. Well-off families, they are sending their sons or daughters to medical college or to engineering college. So at that time, well-off people, wealthy people, they used to send their sons to school of Ilmul Kalam. School of Ilmul Kalam. But there was a known faqih of Kufa who was the student of Ibrahim Nakhai and Alqama and Aswad both. Alqama and Aswad, they are tabi'een. Ibrahim Nakhai is tabi'i. This faqih Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman is tabi'i as well, but he is the student of them three. And he was famous in teaching. So the father of Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayhi, Thabit, he was a wealthy businessman of the city. And he was helping the Dini people, ulama and tulaba. So once he went to Imam Hamad with his young son, Abu Hanifa. So he said, Shaykh, I brought my son to see you. He said, what your son is doing? He said, graduated. He said, what? Graduate. He said, graduated in what? And he was looking at Imam Abu Hanifa, the young man. Graduated in what? He said, in Ilmul Kalam. So Imam Hamad was looking at his face. He said, Sabit, this man Allah has not created for Ilmul Kalam. He is for a great job. So he said, what? He said, from tomorrow, send him here to madrasa. He will be the faqihul ummah. He will be what?
Faqihul.
The faqihul ummah. Qalandar harch goyad. Ida goyad. Shak makun hargiz. Bas 80 saal imana muhaqqaq shud bakhaqani. He said that these are Qalandar people. Their eyes and their sight are the rays coming out of their eyes. That is just like X-ray. Just like what? Just like X-ray machine. They look at someone, so right away they get the X-ray. So Hammad ibn Abi Sulaiman got the X-ray. And he said that this man is not for al-Muklam. Allah has created him for a great job. Said, what great job? Said, he will be Faqih al-Ummah. He'll be what?
Faqihul Ummah.
Faqih al-Ummah. So now Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi, he started from tomorrow. And continuously 18 years he was studying with Imam Hammad. Hammad ibn Abi Sulaiman. Hammad ibn Abi Sulaiman al-Kufi. Now the rulers, they wanted to appoint him as Qazi. But he refused a few times. Now the governor of Kufa, his name is Yazid ibn Umar. He gave him bad punishment in jail. In the time of Banu Umayyah, and then in the time of Banu Abbas also, he refused the offer of qaza from Khalifa Mansur. And then he was beaten. This punishment was going on for 3 years. And thus he died in 767 after Jesus. His age was 80 years. How much? 80 years. not 67. Just because he was born in 703. So plus 783. Got it? The way of his deduction was, find out what year that will be.
77.
77, yes, that is okay. Yes, 77.
His age was 77.
Huh? His age was 77. So what was the year?
If it's 783, then his age was 77.
No. When we say that 80 years, so we are not counting the years by solar calendar.
Oh, then it's 80.
Yes. The age that is counted in lunar calendar. Got it?
Yes.
So 77, that is 80 in lunar calendar. Got it or not?
Yes.
The way of his istinbat or deduction was that he was bringing forth an issue to his class. As I mentioned before, for his mazhab, he adopted the usul. Number 1, Kitabullah. Number 2, Sunnatul Rasul. Number 3, Ijma' Sahaba or Ijma' of Mujtahideen of any time. Number 4, the opinion of a Sahabi. And he was giving priority to the opinion of one Sahabi over the other based on istidlal. Based on what?
Istidlal.
Istidlal. Number 5, the qiyas. And number 6, the custom and the convention. Custom and conventions. Second Imam Awza'i. He was born in 708 in Sham. But he was living there mostly in Lebanon. Until 10th century, in Sham, people used to follow Imam Awza'i. But when Muhammad ibn Usman, Abu Zuhra, he was appointed as the Qazi of Damascus. He was Shafi'i. So in the Mazhab of Imam Shafi, there is a famous book that is called Mukhtasar of Muzani. What? Mukhtasar al-Muzani. So this Qazi, he made an announcement that whosoever will memorize Mukhtasar of Muzani, so we will give him 100 dinar. So 100 dinar was too much. And thus, this book of Imam Muzani became very famous in Sham. And that is the base of the Mazhab of Imam Shafi. So thus the Mazhab of Imam Shafi was spreading all over Sham. And the Mazhab of Imam Awza'i, yes, was almost vanished. Imam Awza'i, for his Mazhab, he is looking into Quran and Sunnah most to find out the solution either from Tafsir of Quran and Hadith or from Ta'wil of Quran and Hadith. Mostly he tries to avoid qiyas. He passed away in 774. The next Imam, Imam Malik. He was born in 717. His father, Anas, he was a tabi'i. And his grandfather, Amir, he is Malik ibn Anas ibn Amir al-Isbahi. What is his name?
Malik ibn Anas ibn
Amir
ibn Amir Asbahi.
al-Isbahi. Banu Isbah is a tribe. So Amir was Sahabi. Mostly he studied with the student of Abdullah ibn Umar, Imam Nafi. Imam Nafi was also a teacher of Imam Abu Hanifa. And the hadith is narrating from Nafi'. Mostly these hadiths are Suna'i. Mostly these hadiths are Suna'i. So what is Suna'i? That between Malik and Rasulullah, there are two narrators. Yes. If you will go to Muwatta Imam Malik, got it? So he says, Haddathani Nafi an Ibn Umar an Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That Nafi related to me this hadith. And he got it from Abdullah ibn Umar from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So in between Malik and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there are only Two what?
Narrators.
Narrators. So that's why it is called what?
Sunai.
Sunai. Likewise, he got a hadith from Imam Muslim ibn Shahab az-Zuhri. This is mashhur, but actually his name is Muhammad ibn Muslim ibn Shahab. His name is what? Muhammad ibn Muslim ibn Shahab az-Zuhri. So he got a hadith from Imam Zuhri also. At that time, the rulers tried to get a fatwa from these mujtahideen to make the pledge of allegiance mu'allaq bit talaq. Pledge of allegiance is also qasam. That's what?
Qasam.
That's qasam. When you are giving, yes, pledge of allegiance, yes, that is a qasam. That I will not do conspiracy against this country. I will not be a part of conspiracy against the country. I am giving the bay'ah to. Got it? That's what citizenship means. So at that time they were giving the bay'ah to the Khalifa. To what?
The Khalifa.
To the Khalifa. So now, people were not that much afraid of breaking that pledge. That okay, I broke it, so I will pay the kafara. I broke it,
Okay.
so I will pay the
Kafara.
kafara of qasam. So now, these rulers ask these mujtahideen to give a fatwa that bay'at should be mu'allaq bit talaq. That if I will break my bay'at, so my wife is divorced with talaq bayin or talaq salasa. Got it? So people are not going for that word. Got it? So these ulama, they said no. That is actually talaq forcibly. It's talaqul ikrah. Talaqul
Ikrah.
ikrah. And that's why Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, they said that talaqul mukrah is not talaq. By force talaq is
Not talaq.
not. Imam Abu Hanifa said by force talaq is talaq. By force talaq is
Talaq.
talaq. So now Imam Malik was beaten that much because he said no, I will never do this fatwa. That his both hands were broken and also his ribs were broken. And that's why the way his hands, yes, guard the giants once again, yes, so he was unable to move it like this. Yes, so that's what we say, even though from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also narrated once he, in Takbir Tahrima, he took his hands up to his head. Got it? So even though Imam Malik Rahmatullah Alayhi, maybe he's following that sunnah, but he was unable to, yes, to bend his hand like this. So that's why he was doing like this. Yes, when he was raising his hand, he was Allahu Akbar. Got it? So he died in 801. The basic sources of his fiqh is Quran, Hadith, Ta'amul Ahl al-Madina, practice of the people of Medina. That is source of his fiqh. Number 4, Ijma'. Number 5, opinion of Sahaba. Number 6, Qiyas. And number 7, masalih mursala, public interest. That sometime he is giving fatwa because of what? Public interest, which is called masalih mursala. And thus, he gave fatwa, if the rulers in a justified way are fixing some taxes on the general public for the welfare of general public, so that is must for them to pay it. Got it? Because public interest is a source of Sharia. Public interest is?
Source of Sharia.
Yes. And public interest and istihsan has a little bit difference. According to Imam Abu Hanifa, there is istihsan. There is what?
Istihsan.
Istihsan. But according to Imam Malik, there is
Public interest.
public interest. What is in Arabic? Istislah.
Istislah.
You should memorize all these terms. And number 9, custom and conventions. And he gave example. That can you give us an example of custom and convention? He said yes. The word dabba. What?
Dabba.
Dabba in Arabic. All Arab, they are using it for any animal giving ride. Any animal giving
Right.
ride. But the people of Sham, they are using it only for horse. They are using it only
For horse.
for horse. So thus Imam Malik Rahmatullah alayhi said, if a Syrian or Shami, he said, I swear to God, I will never ride a dabba. Wallahi la arkabu dabbata. I will never ride a dabba. So if he mounted a camel or a donkey or a bull, so his half is not broken. But if other Arab, he used that word and then he mounted any one of these things, so his
oath is broken.
his oath is broken. And furthermore, inshallah, wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khair. Professor, bismillah.